Hey there, VC HHD students. My name's Andy. I'm a VC Health and Human Development teacher. In this short video, we're looking at the VCAA 2025 HHD sample exam, question number 11, suggested sample answers. This is relevant for Unit 3 and 4 HHD for the 2025 plus HHD study design. Before we dive into this video, just a reminder there's a range of ways to engage with the Health Resources Hub. If you're on our YouTube at the moment, you can subscribe with a button in the bottom corner of the video there, and that means you'll get alerts to all of our new videos as they come out across the year, particularly in the lead up to the HHD exam this year. We've also got our website, thehrh.net.au, where there's opportunities for HHD students and teachers, so please check that out. We've got our Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook pages where you can follow us and get alerts to our new videos and other opportunities, and also our email info@thehrh.net.au if you'd like to get in touch. Before we dive into this video, just a reminder in the lead up to the Unit 3 and 4 exam this year, if you're after some great course notes, they've got all the key concepts covered as well as the relevant glossary terms that you need to know for the exam. You can head to our website where there is a student drop down and you'll go to this page where you can fill in this form to get access to our course notes. We've also got practice questions across all the different areas of study, so they're easy, medium, and hard practice questions, and they've all got sample answers to help guide you in your exam preparation, so they're available on our website. Okay, so you can see here question 11 from the sample exam is worth 6 marks and it has multiple parts here. So you'll see it started with some stimulus material. So often in Unit 4, okay, there is case studies or scenarios that are provided for you to then apply your understanding and knowledge of the relevant content. And so this is Unit 4 based, this information and these questions here. And so you'll see here that the scenario or the case study is about Just Play, a sport for development program in specific Pacific nations such as Fiji, and that it was delivering critical messages that were aligned to 8 key programming pillars. So you can see it mentions their health, water, sanitation, and hygiene, child protection, safeguarding, emergency preparedness, gender equality, social inclusion, wellness, and life skills. And then it goes on and talks a little bit more about that. And down the bottom, it says there it's implemented by the Australian government, Football Australia, Oceania Football Confederation, and Fiji Football Association, the support of trained coaches, etc. So you can see that there's quite a bit of information in that particular program. And then if you look at the first part of A for 1 mark, it was asking you to name one sustainable development goal reflected in the program other than SDG 3. So it's important, obviously, to see there that they're wanting you to link into something other than SDG 3. So I'd obviously be looking at the information that's in the program and thinking about those key features that you know, okay, for the different SDGs that were covered in Unit 4. And so it's important to choose an SDG, okay, that you're then able to also answer part 2 of the question, which asks you to explain how the Just Play program supports the achievement of SDG identified in the first part of A. And so remember, when it comes to SDGs, you should always be linking in to more than just the name, but the key features of those SDGs. So especially obviously for SDG 3, but for the other SDGs as well, you need to know, I would say 2 or 3 or 4, okay, of the key features of those SDGs as well. Because if you're just linking into the name of the SDG in a response to a question, then you're not showing enough depth of understanding in your answers. So this one here, you can see in the program talks about a couple of times things like gender equality. Okay, it's got a focus on women and girls, but it also mentions water, sanitation, and hygiene. So there are a couple of SDGs that you could then easily link into related to that information in your response. So let's have a look at a suggested sample answer. So you'll see there's SDG 6, clean water and sanitation, or SDG 5, gender equality. There are a couple of SDGs that you could have chosen for that first part of the question there. And so you can see there it mentions that you should write the name of the SDG, not just the number. Okay, so ideally you've got both the number, but definitely the name is super important. You can see that term SDG is used in the question, so that would be fine to use, okay, in a response if need be, without writing out in full, because that abbreviation is part of the actual question. So then for the second part, you obviously have to link whichever one of the SDGs you chose into the program. And this is what I mean about linking back to key features. So you can see there for SDG 6, clean water and sanitation, I've mentioned it aims to ensure there's universal and equitable access to safe and affordable drinking water for all. So that's a key feature. And then, okay, it also links in that second sentence there, okay, an aspect of the program. So it mentions that the program includes the pillars of water, sanitation, and hygiene, and that demonstrates a focus that's relevant to SDG 6. Or if you chose gender equality, it aims to end all forms of discrimination discrimination against women and girls everywhere, and that's also reflected in the program as part of those critical messages and pillars included gender equality and trying to improve the lives of women and girls, and therefore demonstrates a focus of SDG 5. So essentially, I think the key things to take away from this is a reminder to make sure you've got some of those key features of all of the SDGs, not just SDG 3. So if you've got a question like this, you're essentially able to show an understanding from a program and how that links into a particular key feature of the particular SDG that you might have chosen. Okay, so before we go into part B, just a reminder, there's still one opportunity on the 15th of October, okay, to join one of the HHD revision lectures that I'm running this year for ACE to help with exam preparation. So in these sessions, I'm covering section A and B exam strategies and advice, as well as covering the key concepts across unit 3 and 4. You get a great set of posted notes if you sign up to these sessions, as well as the opportunity to combine a ticket with the revision questions book that you can see there that I've worked on with ACE this year. It's got over 500 marks worth of practice questions to help with your exam preparation. It also has a full trial exam, all with sample answers, and a full chapter on section B, extended response with sample answers. So that's all available at book.acevc.com. Okay, so then part B in this question was to justify why the Australian government delivers the Just Play program using partnerships. So hopefully you remember in the course in Unit 4, when looking at the Australian aid program, you're looking at the partnerships involved. So you should have an understanding, okay, of why the aid program works in partnerships. And that's essentially what this question is drawing on here. And it would be good, obviously, to link into the actual program and give an example of one of the partnerships and link in some relevant information from that program. So you'll see here a suggested sample answer. So I've mentioned that it delivers the Just Play program using partnerships such as with the Fiji Football Association and Football Australia. So giving an example from the case study as they can enhance the effectiveness of the program by increasing the program's reach and funding. I've then said, for example, the program includes a range of organizations which might be able to contribute funding and specialist resources such as the equipment packs that are mentioned in the program, helping the program to reach more people and be relevant. So there are a number of different, I guess, strengths of delivering, okay, aid through partnerships. And so one of those there that's mentioned is reach and funding. You might have covered others in class, such as improving like the expertise and specialist knowledge that might be able to be involved in aid programs. And so something like that could also be incorporated into an answer like this. So you'll see in the considerations I've mentioned there's a wide range of benefits of partnerships. So you could practice answering this question several times and linking into the various benefits of partnerships involved in aid programs, and that the suggested mark allocation is 1 mark for an example of a partnership from the program, 1 mark for a feature of the partnerships relevant to the program, and then how it makes the program effective. And that's where often students lose marks for these types of questions. They don't demonstrate how that might make a program effective. So make sure you've done that as part of your response. Okay, hopefully you found this video useful. Just a reminder, if you're after that practice questions book, you can head to book.acevc.com or head to our website if you're after those A+ course notes and those additional practice questions across all the different areas of study in Unit 3 and 4. Thanks so much.